And we're back with the second part of our three-part series on the Blue Planet Project. Today we're going to be covering interdimensionals.
Yeah, we're looking at these beings that come from another dimension, another place in space time, not our own, that the U.S. government has encountered and has documented here in the Blue Planet Project. This leaked document that we at the Bridging Realms Project can confirm is authentic.
Yeah, 100% authentic. And you know, honest to God, it's really crazy to think that not only do we get our own dimensions, extraterrestrials, we're getting extraterrestrials from other dimensions that have figured this out. So the secondary, the third, the fourth versions of us are in these dimensions.
Yeah, that's some mind-blowing shit right there when you really think about it. And that's one reason the government doesn't want to disclose these things, is it can really tear down the fragile mind, you know? So you have to be ready for this information. You have to prepare your brain to have this realm bridged, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of, it starts with the threat is above us. The threat comes from other planets.
Right.
Now, it's almost to the point where a hole could rip in space-time and the threat could be in front of you because it's on your own planet just in another dimension.
Right, that's insane right there, you know? So we don't know exactly how these interdimensionals work. It could work like that. It could work with some sort of drug-induced communication, you know, like we've talked about with DMT and stuff like that. But somehow they have talked to these beings, right? They've communicated with these beings. And we actually, not knowing that they were interdimensionals, we've heard stories and we've had our own encounters with some of these beings that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, and you know, just the mind-blowingness of it all, I just can't stress it enough that, you know, I was actually disclosing some of this information to my mother on the phone the other week, and she literally shit her pants when I mentioned the interdimensionals.
For real?
It was a literal pants shitting. I mean, I don't know what she ate prior to it. I can't guarantee 100% that she shit her pants because of the interdimensionals, but it coincided with me telling her about them, you know.
Oh man, and you heard this? Like she stayed on the phone
while
this happened?
Yeah. She kind of described in vivid detail what she was going through.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's pretty gross. I'm sorry that happened to her. I've had that sort of thing happen plenty of times when I've had these kind of close encounters or when discussing this information. You know, that sort of thing happens. So no judgment. In fact, like positive vibes sending to False's mom. If anybody else has had an experience like this, let us know. If you've shit your pants when you've been given disclosure information or when you've had a close encounter. We do want to know, especially with disclosure information, because, we give talks. We gave one recently on the Blue Planet Project, and we don't want any of the audience members shitting their pants, because that does not bode well with the venue, you know?
Yeah, we recommend that you don't eat 2 hours before any of our shows. And maybe we need to work a waiver in there. People will shit their pants.
Yeah, if there's any of our fans that listen to the very popular true crime podcast, My Favorite Murder, they do live shows, and we've heard that they have a huge problem with people vomiting, because these women that are their fans get super fucking wine drunk and then can't handle their shit, so they show up already really fucking wine drunk, and then they get wine at the theater, and then they barf like fucking all over the place, and the theater just can't clean it up fast enough because there's too many drunk women barfing.
Yeah, and these are stay-at-home moms,
Right,
that don't get out ever.
no, they don't get out enough.
And they polish off a bottle of wine at home.
Right,
They make a roadie for their Uber.
yep.
And then boom, once they hit the venue, they're already like 50% past gone, and they just keep fucking chugging that wine. That Franzia.
They're still drinking the wine. They're having fun with their friends, and then they're throwing up. So that happens at their shows. At our talks that we've been giving on disclosure. When we give out this information, some of it is so heavy, so mind blowing, so world changing. That people shit their pants. And we've had some venues that, in this case, people were shitting their pants at an increasing rate. So they could not clean it up fast enough. And the whole place just fucking smelled like shit. So we don't want all of our shows to smell like shit. We don't want you to be listening to this podcast driving to work and shit your pants. Because if you're in traffic, you're fucked right there. So maybe keep like some napkins in your glove compartment or something like that in case this happens, because this is some heavy interdimensional shit, heavy world-changing information that can induce some heavy like diarrheal repercussions. So yeah, you don't want to shit yourself wherever, at work, in the car, doing some housework, whatever you do while you're listening to this pod. You don't want to shit yourself. So you just let us know if you do, and we'll know to just put out a warning.
I'd go as far as to recommend carrying an extra pair of underwear with you.
That's
and
good.
What better place to get your underwear than from meundies.com?
Yeah, meundies.com is a good underwear website that we were contacted by about giving them a plug on the show, which we're doing right now. They make this good polyester silicone blend underwear that really helps hold in your bowel movements if you've had one of these encounters.
You will shit 50% less in a pair of MeUndies.
Yeah, it kind of holds it in. They're tight, they're form fitting, but they still allow some breathe room. But yeah, it will hold the poop into your butthole.
Yeah, there's some innovative butt plugging technology.
I can't say it's the most comfortable, to be honest with you, but it gets the job done if you're having that sort of issue and you're not comfortable with conventional adult diapers.
Okay, so let's dive back into the Blue Planet Project now. So as mentioned before, we are focusing on interdimensionals today. Specifically right now, we're going to go for some paraterrestrials, which are aliens from the multi-universe.
Yeah, we're looking at these beings that are interdimensional, that are coming to us from another dimension that is not our own dimension. So these beings are, we don't exactly know how they're coming through. They could be popping through through some kind of portal. Could be phasing through, coming through in some kind of craft. There's many different ways they could be coming through, but we know that the government has made contact and or documented them here.
Yeah, and according to the Blue Planet Project itself, they can actually accelerate or decelerate the frequency of vibration of their atomic structure.
Whoa. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's some Flash stuff.
It really is. I feel like whoever created the universe, had read some Flash comics. Maybe they'd flash forwarded to the future and gotten these Flash comics, and they're like, oh, that's a pretty cool idea, really.
Yeah, they could be speedsters, you know? So what's the first being that we're looking at?
The first being actually has a name that is impossible to say or write, so we just call him the XZ.
That's what the government designated him as? Is
Yes, the
XZ?
Yeah.
Okay. And so he is, we can't say or repeat his name. It's just not possible.
Yeah, just I don't know if we don't have the vocal ability to do it.
That's crazy. So what does he look like?
He's kind of a like a single amoeba or jelly. And he's he's like a jellyfish without the little tentacles on it.
Okay, so just like we're looking at this here, and it's just like this gelatinous kind of blob sort of thing. I'd say this is kind of what I expected for an interdimensional. I didn't really I wouldn't expect a humanoid body. You know, I'd feel like they'd be, if they're beyond our dimension, maybe they're beyond a human body or a physical form, you know? And maybe they'd just be some sort of pure energy or plasma. This seems like it could be a plasma blob.
Yeah.
Right? The XZ here, just a plasma blob that probably speaks in like a telepathic form.
Yeah.
Or in some sort of plasma noises or farts or something.
Man, I keep looking at the picture of this thing, and I just keep getting madder and madder about it. And I got a couple of thoughts I need to get out about him now.
What's pissing you off about this being?
Well, first, I mean, if he's just a gelatinous blob, I mean, what the fuck's he even going to do? What value does this dude add to us whatsoever? You know,
I mean, I get that. Is his whole being, or his whole race, gelatinous blobs, or is it just him, or what?
No, they're all gelatinous blobs, and I also think that it's a total dick move to tell us, oh yeah, my name, you can't even repeat it or write it. It's not possible for you.
Oh, okay, yeah. If he dictated that, it's a pretty power move.
Yeah,
right. That's kind of a godlike power move. Maybe some ancient aliens shit going on here with the XZ. Maybe he's got a god complex.
Yeah, and then finally, I've got one more thing pissing me off. I'm pretty sure this dude just accelerated the frequency on his atomic structure, and he fucked up. And that's why he's a blob.
Oh.
And he comes over and he's, no, we're all just like this. And you can't say my name, it's too cool. No, he's just like something else that fucked up.
Okay, I get that. Like he probably had a physical form, and he's just trying to hop dimensions. You know, he fucks up on his frequency measurements, and turns himself into a weird plasma blob, and he's embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
He's embarrassed that he fucked up, and really, XZ, if you're listening and you want to comment on this, if there's any of your kind out there, any XZs out there, or anybody else that wants to talk to us about this, just admit, that you fucked up. Like, if you're hearing this, why not? Just admit you fucked up. You don't have to go around saying that, your name and can't be repeated, and you're being so cool about it, just be like, hey, I fucked up. Now I'm a gelatinous blob.
Yeah, and he could even want to be a gelatinous blob so he doesn't have to like hold a job anymore. Because what kind of job are you going to give a gelatinous blob?
Right? The only people that are going to listen to you are maybe the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Because you've, come in contact with them as an interdimensional gelatinous blob, and you're feeding them these, bullshit secrets of the universe, That could be what the XZ's doing here. So maybe possibly exposed here, the XZ, for his, scheme that he's pulling on the government. All right, so let's continue on with our look at the Blue Planet Project and the extraterrestrials being disclosed within. What's the next on the list there, False?
We've actually got the Mook. He's a very small and hungry creature with long arms and 3 fingers, and he wears funny clothes.
This one right here is one that I have actually had sightings and encounters with and did not know that this was an interdimensional being until reading the Blue Planet Project. So that is one that we've done the research on. We have sightings here documented at the Bridging Realms Project of the Mook, and we can confirm that now to you, our audience, that this creature is real. It is an interdimensional being, and we have these sightings. Now, I will say, the first time that I saw the Mook, I thought it was a raccoon, I thought there was a raccoon getting in my trash, and he kept getting in there. It's pretty aggressive with the trash. And then he got into the garage a couple of times, and I just thought it was a raccoon trying to get into the garage, trying to fuck my Jack Russell Terrier, and he, successfully did a couple of times, forcefully fuck my Jack Russell Terrier. And I mean, I'll be honest, Raymond has had a hard time recovering from it. Like, it really kind of messed with him to be dominated like that by the Mook. And the Mook means fucking business. These guys, they're aggressive, and they're wearing little overalls too, which really kind of undermines how aggressive they are.
They really are just aggressive little fucking creeps from everything I can see. And I gotta be honest with you. I am getting fucking pissed off about these guys too. I mean, just looking at that anteater looking fucking face and those overalls with just one. Like, he doesn't even have the overalls unhooked on one side. His overalls are made with just one hook. Is that a sexual thing?
It is just one shoulder. We're going to put the picture in the show notes for you guys so you can see it. But for those listening while driving, please do not try to look at the photo and have a wreck. We'll just tell you about it. He is wearing, it's a one shoulder, like Andre the Giant, just over one shoulder overalls.
It's sensual, and it's disturbing that a child could see this material.
I guess I see your point there. These are kind of upsetting, False, a little bit. I'm kind of wondering about the overalls. Like, are they some sort of like uniform that he's wearing? Are they essential? Is it a spacesuit essential to his interdimensional travel?
I think it's essential to him fucking your dog. I think it goes back to that. It's almost like a pheromone, and our earthly animals, they see that scoop there, and they are just so attracted. What is underneath? I bet if a deer saw like a female deer actually dressed, like, it's the opposite of us. We want to see the other sex just completely nude.
Right.
But for a deer, man, if they saw like a deer in some capris, just some mom jeans,
yeah,
they would like force their heart to explode. They'd be so horny.
Okay, so it's kind of like that precedent set by like Bugs Bunny, where like Bugs Bunny put on clothes and was suddenly a sexy lady bunny.
Yeah,
right?
It's exactly like that.
Okay. And
that's another form of soft disclosure.
I understand that. Okay, yeah, disclosure in the media. I get that. So yeah, he's wearing these clothes, and it's odd because it's a silly little outfit, but he's not a silly being. he looks fucking silly. He's got this big long nose. He's very comical, and he's like what, 3 feet tall or some shit.
Yeah, he's about 3 feet tall. He's even got a goddamn logo. He's got a logo of his head on the overalls.
Yeah, right. It makes me think he's part of some sort of interdimensional Starfleet, you know, and maybe he's just, you know, like broken away from the pack, you know, like a drunken sailor on Fleet Week or some shit. He just kind of drunkenly stumbled away from his unit or whatever, his ship, and then he comes into, you know, and stumbles into my trash cans and fucking eats some of my trash and then tries to fuck my dog. You know, maybe that's what's happening here.
So yeah, as we were saying, fuck the mook, and moving on to the Wadig.
This one's pretty interesting to me because, and like I said, we'll put these photos in the show notes, but to tell you, the listener, right now, this guy looks, you know, for all intents and purposes, he looks like a Bigfoot.
He looks like a Bigfoot.
A Sasquatch, you know.
If he had, like, proportional feet, though.
Yeah, I will say the rendering that the artist put into the Blue Planet project doesn't exactly go big on the feet aspect of the Bigfoot.
Real, like, barrel chest, you know, like one of those pro wrestler chests for sure.
Right,
or
he's
like
jacked. Dude's got jacked. It looks like he shaved his chest, in fact.
Yeah, it does. It could be a Popeye the Sailor Man type chest. I wouldn't think an anchor tattoo would be out of place on his right arm.
Right. So we know that this theory has been out there on the internet. We know that there are people that think, you know, we talked about it in our Bigfoot episode, that there are people out there that think Bigfoot is an interdimensional being, you know, and this, we might say, kind of confirms it. It does not say Bigfoot or Sasquatch. The government is not saying that. They're calling it specifically a Wadig, so maybe they had some contact with this being, and that's what it called itself, or it identified itself as. But it does look a little bit different. It does break some conventions of Sasquatch. What other information does it have there?
He's primitive kind of primate, but intelligent, which is kind of, I mean, you say he's primitive, but he's intelligent. Normally, he never wears clothes. Guys, I think I've told you this before, but...
That's key.
Yeah, that's key.
He's not wearing pants, especially. So therefore, he's not any kind of man, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it states that this fact makes strong the idea some people believe that the Wadig is some kind of primitive missing link.
See, right there, that connects it to Bigfoot, you know? Like, that's the same thing we say about the Bigfoot and the Sasquatch, is that, you know, it could be this missing link in the evolution of humans. So, I think the Wadig could be closely related to Bigfoot. It could be the same being that we're seeing as the legendary Bigfoot or Sasquatch. This could be just a more advanced version that has decided to shave his chest and really show off the abs that it looks like he's cultivated, because the dude's ripped. I mean, dude's got like washboard abs.
I feel like this guy, so I gotta be honest with you. I maybe I'm just having a day. I am pissed off at this thing again.
You're pissed off at the Wadding now? False is
am.
getting steamed here, guys. Like, if you could see him, he's fucking sweating. He's getting red in the face.
So, with the Wadig, I feel like it's just a classic case of small town kid, heads off to college, and then he's fucking, I'm not Bigfoot anymore, I'm the Wadig.
Okay.
He thinks that sounds much cooler, so he's kind of caught in the act. You know, they got this autopsy done on him, so, you know, maybe one of the reps comes in and they're like, oh, no, he's not a Bigfoot at all. Make his feet look smaller in that illustration. He's a Wadig. He's not a Bigfoot.
Putting the spin on it. That's what you're kind of saying. Okay, he could be just a fucking poser. He could be just a Bigfoot that is like nah, government. I'm a fucking Wadig, you know. Kind of like we said, the XZ, kind of like that XZ game, like he was pulling.
Yeah, they're all just a bunch of fucking liars.
It could be. This in the conspiracy world, we run into a bunch of fucking liars and shills and government misinformants, and that's the kind of stuff you're not going to get here on Bridging Realms. There's a lot of disclosure out there and a lot of people trying to tell you that they are giving you the truth here in Disclosure, and a lot of it is, straight bullshit. You're going to get the real stuff here from us at Bridging Realms. Dr. Gene Carlisle and False Freedom 691, we're bringing you the real honest disclosure, not government misinformation. We have our inside sources, but they are vetted. They're super fucking vetted.
Yeah, this is elite level content that you're not going to get anywhere else. And it's the truth, Rarely do we ask you for money, and when we do ask you for money, we're upfront about what the money is going towards.
Right. It's going towards research that we do here at the Bridging Realms Project. In fact, some research that has gone into some of these interdimensionals. Like I said, I've had encounters with the Mook. I've had sightings of it. And we did some tests to make sure that the Mook was what this document says it is, because our first inclination was that this was a raccoon. Like I said, that it was a raccoon trying to get into my house and fuck my dog. So we did tests with a live raccoon. We captured one. We captured the biggest one we could find. We fattened it up. We fed it a bunch of fucking scraps and cornmeal and shit to get it real fat. But it still could not get to the size of the Mook. And it was not, as it got fatter and fatter, it got more lethargic, and its sex drive was definitely not there. It did not want to fuck my dog at all.
Yeah, we even pumped that fucking raccoon just full of Blue Chew in those scraps. So,
Yeah, he was rocking a raging boner, dude. Raging fucking raccoon boner, but he still did not want to fuck my dog.
And it is just conceptually to think about your penis being hard and having no sex drive to accompany it.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
It's crazy. He's just a fat ass fucking raccoon with a huge boner just laying there, not even want to do anything with it. But that's the kind of research that we're doing at Bridging Realms here. That's what your Patreon money is going to. That's what your donation money is going to. When you come to see our talks, that's what your ticket money is going to. It's keeping the lights on here at Studio 51 and funding research like that, like proving definitively that the Mook is not an oversexed raccoon getting into my trash. And we're back. We're going to look at our final interdimensional here and unpack what this being is all about. What's last on the list today?
We have a meta-terrestrial now, which are visitors from another time and space.
Whoa, okay, so that's more than just another dimension now, right?
Right.
Fuck.
And it's apparently a crossbreeding between humans from Earth and an extraterrestrial from Zeta Reticuli, from one of our possible futures.
From just one of our possible futures.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is a possible future. This opens up so many things, like that we have multiple timelines and more than just multiple dimensions, right?
Right. It really does. And
so this is mind blowing. I hope nobody's shitting their pants in their car right now.
Yeah, I really advise you get an in-car bucket, get an in-car bucket. They make toilet seats to go over buckets,
That's true.
And you can just, it's just as good as being at home. It really is.
Maybe we need to start selling that on our website once we get our website and our store back up online. Because again, our shit was taken down by the government and the deep state, who continue to fuck with us because we reveal truth. So once we get our store back online, maybe we can get some Bridging Realms kind of ass gasket seats
Yeah.
like you're talking about, where in case people shit themselves in their cars, which they might be doing right now, to learn that there are, infinite possible timelines and dimensions out there, and that we have been in contact with a being that is a crossbreed of fucking humans and beings from Zeta Reticuli,
Yeah, and I've got a big issue because MTV won't return my calls about bringing back Pimp My Ride,
right?
with myself as the host.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing I plan on doing to pimp the rides is making it where you can shit in your car.
Right, yeah, I remember you had that idea, and we did a whole episode about this that is now wiped from the internet, but it was a very good concept. Very good fucking concept, and we've even tried to take it to Shark Tank and shit like that, but these dark forces that try to hold Bridging Realms down have blocked us from being able to use such avenues as Shark Tank and shit like that. But we want people to be able to void their bowels wherever they fucking can, because you're going to have these experiences anywhere. You never know when you're going to have a universe-altering experience. So, shit yourselves if you need to, but this being is real, and we'd like to introduce you to her. I say her because she has this designation by the government in the Blue Planet Project as simply Meredith, right?
Yeah, Meredith has another logo. It's kind of like a Green Lantern type logo.
Right, this is her symbol that she hands out as her. She says, "This is me,"
Yeah, and a really long neck, like a brontosaurus. I'm just getting so fucking mad looking at this fucking bullshit, interdimensional, meta fucking terrestrial. Fuck this shit.
He's getting really steamed in here,
guys. There are only 3 dimensions. There are not infinite dimensions. Nobody is phasing between dimensions. They're all fucking liars and government goddamn shills. There are 3 dimensions.
False.
Nobody can phase their atoms.
He's okay. So we're putting that out there right now. Then, that False is doubting the authentication of the interdimensional section of the Blue Planet Project. This could be disinformation given to our government by these beings. Maybe they're lying about being interdimensionals. False. Would you say that?
I would say that. I would say they're shilling. They're shilling for their species. I would go as far as to say that interdimensionals are the gypsies of the extraterrestrial world, and they're just trying to grift. They're trying to grift and making promises of other dimensions, and the government is falling for it and shilling out hard-earned American tax dollars to these hanger-on, worthless extraterrestrials like that fucking goop we talked about earlier.
Yeah, the Mook. Yeah. I understand where you're coming from there, False. That's that's one opinion. From what I understand with Meredith, everybody loves her. That's the thing. And that's where I'm differing here. Like, everybody who's had an experience with Meredith fucking loves her. We'll put a picture of her in the show notes. She's got these very kind eyes, got a very kind energy and an aura. Some have even described her aura as being this amber glow, like amber is the color of her energy.
Whoa.
Yeah, like that's what they've said. Like, people have seen it, and that's all they can describe coming out of their mouth is whoa, whoa. Amber is the color of her energy, and it's a truly amazing experience. I myself have had a Meredith experience. I saw her once on a long DMT trip that I did. And I felt that I encountered her presence, and it's a very warm amber energy. Many who have encountered her have said that they've woken up with something left by her. And we know that with abduction cases, some people are left with like burn marks or some physical evidence, Whitley Strieber had metal implants in his nose. We're big fans of Whitley Strieber. Whitley, if you are listening, we'd love to talk to you on the show. We've read all your books and seen all your shit, so we were huge fans. But he had implants. With Meredith, people have encountered her and then come back from these experiences with a nice, perfectly fit knitted sweater left for them by Meredith. That's how kind she is. Really, it's like all the people at the government that we have talked to, insiders, have just had glowing reviews. Like, she's so nice and kind. Except False. False does not enjoy her very much.
Yeah, fuck her.
So there's the ruling from False is fuck Meredith. If you guys have any Meredith encounters, we'd love for you, please keep on the lookout for her. Just all caps, Meredith. That's what she goes by. She's very nice, very friendly. Literally, when I encountered her on my DMT trip, it was about just, 3.5 hours of just her staring at me warmly from a distance as we just softly waved to each other and smiled. And it was a very, very eye-opening and life-changing experience for me.
That sounds really pleasant. Women don't really do that to me.
Well, and it was pleasant. When I woke up, though, I had shit myself. I will tell you that. I had shit myself. And luckily, I was wearing those MyUndies.
Oh, yeah.
Or MeUndies.
No, I believe you're right. Earlier, we did read copy for MeUndies, but it is actually, I looked over my notes. It is MyUndies. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, so it's MyUndies. Yeah, so I luckily was wearing those, and it had partially contained the shit. So that at least helped a little bit in cleanup.
So that's our show, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be returning next week with the third and final part of our series on the Blue Planet Project. We will be covering the Greys.
Yeah, very excited about that, and very excited to be bringing you this stuff, guys. Like we said, we've been doing a lot of research here at the Bridging Realms Project, and it's been a lot of long hours. This is a long, thick document, and we encourage you all to get online, look up the Blue Planet Project for yourself, verify this information for yourself, interact with us online on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and tell us what you think, what you can verify about the Blue Planet Project, and really interact with us, bridge those realms.
Unzipping the jaws of your mind and suckling the consumerism from your aching loins. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Bridging Realms Project.